What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for today's video. Thanks to the wiki team over at Shozy Store, we're going to be checking out DNA Design's DK-48 upgrade kit for the Transformers Rise of the Beasts Optimus Primal. This is an upgrade kit so that you can maximize Optimus Primal into the original leader of the Maximals, Apelinq. Now, if you'd like this or any of their previous kits, then make sure to check out the links down below. And as we fly through some of the accessories included, first up we do see the return of Apelinq's inbuilt forearm blades. It really is just such a shame that we never saw him use these more, because maybe then he would have stood a slightly better chance in going up against the big bad Terracon Scourge. Next up, as a pre-order bonus, we do see the return of the same blade sculpt, although this time round fully decked out to resemble when they are fully energized. To be fair, I do think between the two different pairs, these are by far my favourites. Seeing as this is a conversion kit for Optimus Primal to maximize him into Apelinq, the next few upgrades are really awesome. So here we have Apelinq's inbuilt forearm guards, which to be fair, when it does come to detail, I think are looking wicked, especially as we check out the inbuilt battle damage. Again, really giving you the impression that not only did this original leader of the Maximals go up against the Terracons, but also the Predacons. As his shoulder design in the movie was asymmetrical, it is pretty cool to see this upgrade kit also reflects that. So when it comes to sculpting, to be fair again, these are looking pretty much spot on to that CG design. Easily though, one of the most interesting accessories would kind of be a what if Apelinq had maximized in the movie. We finally get a good look of his robot mode head sculpt. It really is just a shame that we never saw this guy stick around long enough to actually see his robot form. But easily, the best upgrade out of the bunch would have to be Apelinq's beast mode head sculpt. And surprisingly for a third-party product, again, the painting and the details are looking sharp, especially when it comes around to those serrated blades. I'm also a big fan of the integration of the inbuilt repulsor, which this guy is totally rocking in the back of his throat. We do again see this very briefly show up in the movie. Overall, a pretty impressive looking upgrade. Next up, these here are a pair of gap fillers, which we will use in order to thicken out the soles of Apelinq's feet. There is also kind of a wild card when it comes down to accessories. This is a handle which you can use with the Beast Battlemaster Optimus Primal, and definitely does give Apelinq some much needed firepower. The next accessory though, I'm pretty certain will easily be a fan favourite among many collectors, where you have a fully articulated chain which is compatible with the cyber blades that did come with that original Ultimate Optimus Primal. So if you wanted Apelinq to also be swinging this bad boy around on the battlefield, then that is absolutely a look that you can pull off. Next up, there is this adapter which can be attached onto Optimus Primal's back in order to store all of the additional accessories, which to be fair, I also thought was a pretty sweet inclusion. The final upgrade, unfortunately, is by far the most lackluster out of the bunch. This is so that when you stand Optimus Primal upright when in beast mode, the head can begin to look downwards. Now, whilst in execution it looks okay, unfortunately it doesn't really integrate all that well into the transformation. So I do think this is kind of a pointless accessory, because I think the reason why most collectors will be picking up this upgrade kit is of course to maximize Optimus Primal into Apelinq. And then last, but by no means least, we have an accessory which I honestly think is super fitting for Apelinq, the Transwarp Key. The main reason why this guy sadly had to sacrifice himself in that Rise of the Beast movie. And to be fair, the detail I don't think is too bad. You can also totally split this into two components. So if you wanted to, you could give one half to the Autobots and the Maximals, and the other half to the Terracons and to Unicron. Now, the time has come for us to maximize Optimus Primal into Apelinq. So, to begin with, you are going to want to whack out these gap fillers. We're going to very nicely slide these here into the base of Optimus Primal's feet, and the connection is secure. These bad boys are not going to be popping out anytime soon, and I can't even lie to you guys, this definitely is a big improvement in comparison to the big gaping voids that we did have first time round. Next up, we are going to turn to making some big changes when it comes around to this guy's design. So, first of all, you are going to want to take a hold of the faceplate and slide this here forwards. You're then going to want to come here to the inside part of the head and begin to slide the ball joint here backwards until we have decapitated Optimus Primal. You can then bring out Apelinq's robot mode head sculpt. This will then very nicely pop into place exactly like this. We can then begin to maximize Optimus Primal's shoulder design. So whack out one of the shoulder pads and this here will slide very nicely into place. Make sure to do the same on the opposite side. And it is at this point that I would then recommend to whack out the gauntlet as well as one of these wicked cyber blades and combine these exactly like that. Next up, we are then going to slide this right over the top of the forearm until you should be left with something which looks exactly like this. And for one final time, make sure to do the same on the opposite side. Then for the next stage of maximization, we are now going to take a hold of the shoulders and angle these here out to the side. We're then going to grab a hold of the waist and spin this here all the way around just like that. Now to begin with, you are going to take a hold of the smaller component and then begin to swivel this here downwards and then compress it against the skirt armor just like that. We can then take a hold of the main backpack and begin to bring this here backwards just like this. You then have to take a hold of the neck and extend this here upwards. So all you're really going to want to do here is slide this off that pre-existing mushroom peg exactly like this. And to be fair guys, the brand new Apelinq head sculpt very nicely slides back into place. And one thing which I thought was awesome about the integration of some of these upgrades is this guy still transforms exactly the same way as the original Ultimate Optimus Primal. Maximizing his way through the battlefield in an attempt to protect the transwarp key, here we have Apelinq now fully transformed into his beast mode. And I think this is an awesome upgrade kit. They have quite simply given a whole new lease of life to that Ultimate Optimus Primal, a figure which unfortunately did kind of stick out like a sore thumb, especially stacked up alongside some of the Studio Series Maximals, but Apelinq in the movie always appeared to be much larger than Optimus Primal, so at least for the time being, this is the best stand-in that we've so far seen for this character. And when it does come to the actual upgrades, especially from the front, I think this guy's looking sharp. The head sculpt looks amazing. Not only is it near enough spot on to the actual CG design, but it's also packing a ton of extra articulation that we never even saw when it came round to the Ultimate Optimus Primal. You can totally smack open the jaw, so in addition to being able to transport the transwarp key, I'm almost certain that you would easily be able to recreate this guy's death the second that Scourge blasts him into two pieces. The only downside to this kit for myself would be that the second you do turn him here to the side, the illusion unfortunately is very quickly lost, and it's mainly just because all of the upgrades are here when it comes to the upper torso. I don't think it would have gone amiss had we maybe had even more panels which we could have attached onto the backpack or maybe onto the side of the legs, but overall guys, I'm going to be honest, this is by far one of the most impressive DNA design upgrade kits which I think they've released in a very long time, and it is so cool to finally have a pretty decent version of Apelinq's beast mode to add to the collection. Turning to some size comparisons, you guys better believe me when I say that the second that I upgraded Optimus Primal into Apelinq, I ran up to my collection room, whacked out the Yellow Park Scourge, and have been messing around with these two like there is no damn tomorrow. And due to the brand new articulation of the head sculpt, you can even stand Apelinq upright to create for an even cooler display. So at least for the time being, I will most definitely be having these two battling it out in the collection. But you know what guys, unfortunately we never saw Apelinq long enough to really gather a sense of how big he was. Maybe he also wouldn't pair too badly alongside some of the Studio Series figures. So, first up we have the Leader Class Scourge, the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Voyager Class Optimus Prime. Last but by no means least, we have arguably what is the most important comparison, the Leader Class Optimus Primal. Now, judging by some of the very few scenes that these two do share with each other in the movie, maybe Apelinq is a little too large, but if rumours are to be true that the upcoming Studio Series Apelinq will be a mere retool / repaint of this Optimus Primal, then scale-wise, I honestly think these two are going to work out slightly better, because there definitely was a size difference between these two in the film. Then finally, maximizing Apelinq back into his robot mode, something which he unfortunately failed to do in the movie. Here is how he compares alongside the Yellow Park version of this character. I am definitely looking forward to seeing as to how Hasbro's version of this guy is going to turn out, especially in that robot mode department. So, wrapping up on this review for the DNA Design DK-48 upgrade kit for the Transformers Rise of the Beasts Ultimate Optimus Primal. Overall, I think it's safe to say that this is by far one of the best upgrade kits that DNA Design have dropped in a very long time. The conversion between Optimus Primal to Apelinq, especially when it comes around to that beast mode, I honestly think is wicked. The only downside would be the lack of any extra panels for the legs and the backpack. I do wish that maybe there could have been even more silver kind of scattered throughout this guy's beast mode, and then of course the robot mode, but mostly this does a great job in repurposing that original Ultimate Optimus Primal figure and quite simply gives it a brand new lease of life. The only real big fault that I have when it comes around to the upgrades themselves would be that neck adapter for Optimus Primal's beast mode, but let's all face it, for those of you who have picked up this kit, then it is more than likely to transform Primal into Apelinq, and when it comes around to that, I seriously think it does a banging job. So I would love to get your guys' thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this brand new upgrade kit? For those of you that want to add one to the collection, again, make sure to check out the links down below. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and until my next video, transform and roll out!